it is what it is. All right, so the next part is adding and subtracting unlike fractions. So what do we have to do first? If they're unlike fractions, what does that mean? What's not the same? Troy. Okay, so we have to find the GCF or GCD. Do you guys know what the D stands for? Greatest common denominator or the greatest common factor. All right? Then what do? So we found our greatest common denominator, greatest common factor. What do?
You have to make the numerators, you have to like multiply them by whatever you have on the bottom.
So change fractions, and we're going to write multiply top and bottom by same number. Okay? And then what do? So you've found your GCF or GCD, you've changed the fractions, your top and bottom number by the same. So then what's the last step if we're adding and subtracting numbers with unlike denominator? It's the last thing we got to do. Cooper? Or?
Subtract it.
Yeah, so add or subtract new fractions. Okay. Absolutely not. Are you crazy? I'm trying to lose my job. All right. Now, multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. So, what is a mixed number? What is a mixed number when we're talking about fractions? Ethan?
A whole number with a fraction.
All right, so 2 and 2/3. That's a mixed number, right? So, can we multiply or divide numbers that are mixed? Ronnie?
Yes.
Nope. We cannot. So if you're multiplying a fraction with a mixed number, what must we do with that mixed number? Ronnie?
And turn it into an improper fraction.
Perfect. So change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay? And then what? So we changed mixed numbers to improper fractions, and then what can we do? How do you multiply fractions? I think multiplying fractions is probably my favorite thing in the world to do because it's the easiest thing to do.
Easy is fun.
It's fun, it's simple, it's easy, there's nothing special to it, you don't have to do anything crazy with it. Cooper, what do?
You have to multiply the top.
By each other?
No.
No. So use better words.
Okay, so I have to write it out.
How about, so do you multiply this way or do you multiply this way? So straight across? So multiply straight across. And then you always want to simplify if you can. All right. Now, dividing fractions is something we are going to actually spend more time on in 6th grade. It's actually the only thing that we technically teach you in 6th grade, but adding, subtracting, and multiplying are all a review for you guys. Some of you guys might have been exposed to dividing fractions, which is fantastic, but if you haven't, that's okay. All right, so I did want to give you a little bit of information about dividing fractions. So when you divide fractions, same as multiplying, you have to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Then you do KCF, which is, sit down and relax. I'm really glad you know. Just sit down and relax. That's going to be keep, change, and flip. What that means is you keep the first fraction the same, you change your division to multiplication, and you flip that second fraction. This is also known as finding the reciprocal. That is what we're going to call it this year in 6th grade. Finding the reciprocal is the same as KCF. And then you just simply multiply straight across and then simplify if possible. All right, stand up once you have all of that written down and your total is empty. Yes, Cooper?
Do you know I like to give the whole entire 6th grade math curriculum?
I have no idea what you're saying to me. Keep that to yourself.
Straight up math.
What did you say, Beth?
Me and Noah broke down the entire like curriculum, like figured like 6th grade math last year. So.
Have you done open up curriculum? Exactly. It's completely different. But I'm very glad that you had that knowledge because that will definitely be helpful. Keep these papers face down for me, but
Our 5th grade teacher, she told me that 6th grade is easier than 5th grade, and then at the end of the year, it turns around, 6th grade is a lot harder than 5th grade.
I don't know if one is harder than the other. You just learn different materials, and you build off previous material. So if you didn't understand some of the materials from last year, it is going to be a little bit harder.
Oh my God, no. Thank you.
All right, please keep these papers that I just passed out face down. Stand up when you have this completed so I know because we have just 7 more minutes to get the other part of this lesson like explained on the camera. I don't know why it's not. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I will put this back up there once you guys, like once I've gone over the rest of your homework tonight. So if you're not done, that is fine. Now, go ahead, have a seat. Slide over to the next page, which should be page 4 for you guys. All right, and tonight, your homework, you're going to be practicing multiplying fractions. Now, you must show your work. If you want credit, you must show your work. If you just give me an answer, you will not get credit. All right, so we are going to put an asterisk right here. And you're going to write, must show, capital letters, all work. Do not say, I did it in my head. I'm going to say, well, you get a 0. Okay? Now, your homework is this sheet of paper. You are obviously not going to be able to fit your work on this sheet of paper, are you? There's a reason we give you small baby size papers for homework. Why do you think that reason is?
So we have to write it on this.
So you have to write it in your notebook and you have to show all of your work in your notebook. What that means is you are going to put number 1. Number 1 is 1/3 times 3/5? 3/8. Sorry, I can't even read it. 3/8. All right, so we're just multiplying straight across. If you're not sure, definitely slide over to your foldable part. This part right here that we just wrote about. And you are going to multiply straight across. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Now, are we leaving our answer as 3/24? Okay, what are we going to do? Right, but what are we simplifying by? No? What goes into both 3 and 24? I'm sorry, I can't hear because you are still talking. Still. One more time, sir.
3.
Yes. So you're going to divide by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 24 divided by 3 is 8. This is the work I must see for every question. Any questions? Yes.
Would you want to glue this in the book?
So, good question. Ronnie said, do I want you to glue this in? Absolutely. You are going to glue it in across the top once you've written the title in your table of contents. Okay, so let's slide to our table of contents. So page 3, what is the title of page 3? Cooper.
Fraction units, numbers, operations.
You said what?
Fractions, units, numbers, operations.
And then is the date on there? 9/6, that's page 3. And then what is our homework page? Camden.
Multiplying fractions.
And I'm just going to put HW so I know. And then 9/26, correct? Now, with your homework, you are probably going to use more than one page, and that is okay. All right? So that is perfectly okay. Any questions about your notebook? All right.